Bruce Lee again.
He was a fucking hero. Let's talk more about him. I talk about Bruce Lee a lot on this channel, usually for one of two reasons. One, I've got a huge man crush on him, and two, he's fucking awesome. For example, in regards to the latter, did you know that Bruce Lee once scared the absolute ever-loving shit out of Robin in front of Batman?
So when does this epic tale begin?
In 1967, when Bruce Lee was playing second fiddle to a middle-aged man in a stupid hat on a show called The Green Hornet.
We've talked before about how Bruce Lee was clearly the star of that show.
Oh yes, he was, and Brad will presumably putting in many clips of Bruce Lee demonstrating his martial arts prowess. Hopefully, my favourite clip, where it's the policeman going, "What's going on in here?" And Bruce Lee runs out screaming like a hawk with its balls caught in a toast, and just, and it's like the police was out, I didn't expect this. Is Bruce Lee's, like, martial arts scream the greatest scream in cinema?
It's up there.
Yes, we've talked before, haven't we, like the greatest scream in fiction, and like we were talking about, they're all based on Dragon Ball, but like just in terms of like pure martial arts scream, not like just like out of rage or anger, just screaming because you're punching people that fucking hard. I'm just going to put one out there. I think Kenshiro might come close, because you've not seen Kenshiro, have you? Fist of a North Star, but that fucking anime is the best, because Kenshiro, he does like a Bruce Lee style scream, but his martial arts moves are obviously more impressive because they're in a fucking like anime and they can be all sorts of bullshit. And he punches people so hard their heads explode. And you're gonna put in the clip of him doing the and then it's like, oh, that didn't even hurt. And then Kenshiro walks away like a badass as the person's head's and I bet Bruce Lee could do that, we just never got to see it. Some of the stuff he did do though is like, I would define it as bordering on superhuman, because like, I think his exercise routine is like legendary, and it's been embellished over the years, but there were like confirmed things that he used to do that people today struggle to do. Like one's the dragon flag, which is basically, it's a leg raise, but instead of putting like your top half of your body on like the place you're doing the leg raise from, you put like your shoulder blades and that's it. And you support your entire, like basically lower half of your body, including like this bit up to here, on a bench, and then raise your entire body up, and it's called the dragon flag. And he was really well known for like exercises for parts of the body people didn't actually exercise back then. One of my favourites of them being that he used to get his fingers like that and then jab them into bowls of rocks to strengthen his fingertips. And he used to do like thumb push-ups and all that sort of thing, and one-arm pull-ups. And when he got good at one-arm pull-ups, he'd do like one-arm pull-ups like 3 fingers, just to, like, to strengthen those parts of his body. He also as well used to punch pieces of paper, like, instead of a speed bag. It sounds silly, but they did, obviously, like, the results speak for themselves. The man was fucking insane. Like, no one could like step to him in a fight, pretty much.
So we mentioned a little bit earlier, but we've also talked a lot on this channel about how good Bruce Lee was at fighting.
Yeah, and we've just obviously had a massive discussion about that. Most of it's probably going to get cut, because we spent most of it talking about, like, Kung Fu Panda, but whatever.
But anyway,
yes.
How did Kato, or Bruce Lee,
yes,
end up in a situation with Batman and Robin?
Because the Green Hornet show, which was, fun fact, known in Hong Kong as the Kato show, because of how much dick Bruce Lee kicked, was going to have a crossover with the Batman show, the Adam West Batman show. And there was a scene in that crossover episode that called for the heroes as sidekicks to have a fight, which means that, like, Bruce Lee, Kato was due to fight Robin. The problem is, in the original version of the script that got sent out, Robin was going to beat Kato because Robin was on the more popular show.
Fuck off.
Yes, this 100-pound sack of man in a silk cape was going to beat this guy in a fist fight. We should point out that although, like, yes, the Green Hornet show was known as the Kato show in Hong Kong, Bruce Lee's ability to shatter orbital bones with his backhands was well known in America, and everybody, including the guy who played Robin, Burt Ward, acknowledged the fact that this was fucking stupid and complained about it.
So it wasn't even contested. Everybody knew.
Yes, every single person involved with the production of both shows went to the writers and went, what the fuck are you doing? No one's going to believe that Robin can beat Kato. Even Burt Ward himself went, look at what Bruce Lee can do. I cannot beat that man. This is a stupid idea. And Bruce Lee himself, reportedly when he got the script that saw that he was going to lose to Robin, a man in with underwear on the outside of his costume looked at it and said, I'm not going to do that, and walked off set.
So what happened when Bruce Lee refused to lose the fight?
What happened was the writers went, okay, maybe it's a bit silly for people to suspend their disbelief this much and have Burt Ward beat up Bruce Lee. Although I think I should point out, to be fair to Burt Ward, he did know a little bit of karate, so he wasn't completely incompetent, but he was nowhere near Bruce Lee's level. What they did is they rewrote the scene to have the fight end in a draw, which Bruce Lee was happy with and saw as an opportunity for a bit of mischief.
So what happened on the day they recorded the episode?
Bruce Lee turned up in full costume and absolutely refused to talk to anybody on set, and instead sat down just staring holes through Burt Ward the entire time. So imagine for a moment, put yourself in Burt Ward's shoes, people at home. You're there, you found out that you've got to fight Bruce Lee, and you found out through the grapevine that he's very annoyed about it. He walks in full costume, says nothing, and proceeds to just glare at you for 30 minutes straight. I think it's fair to say that anyone would be on edge at that point, correct?
That's nightmare fuel.
Yeah, so imagine then what happened next when the director said, okay, everyone take their place, action, and Bruce Lee walked straight over his mark and towards Burt Ward like he was going to punch his fucking head off.
What would you even do in that situation? You're not going to stay still, are you?
You're not, are you? And I'm suspecting most people would do what Burt Ward did, and that is run away. Literally run away from Bruce while saying, this is just a TV show, what are you doing? Stumbling ass backwards over furniture as Bruce Lee just strolled towards him with his fist clenched, looking like he's going to fucking rip his heart out like Kano or some shit. And I should point out as well, all this happened while Adam West was observing from nearby in full Batman costume. And this went on for what I assume for Burt Ward felt like a lifetime until the crew realised what Bruce was doing, and that was taking the piss. So to lighten the mood and let Burt Ward know, no, he's not going to kill you, someone started making loud chicken noises, at which point Bruce Lee completely lost his shit and just broke down laughing. And then he went over to his mark and said, come on, let's go.
You know that Burt Ward, after the laughter broke out, started going,
the most nervous of all laughs as he slowly tried to hide the fact there's now a big old piece of shit in the back of his stuck on underwear.
pulling his cape round him so that you can't see it.
Just, oh dearie me.
So what happened afterwards with the actual fight?
Everything went according to the choreography that they agreed upon, which is that they had a brief fist fight in which Kato and Robin each get in one good hit and it ends in a draw.
What do we have here? A Mexican standoff?
Which Bruce Lee was apparently perfectly happy with because, obviously, as we all know now, he'd already proven to everybody on set and Batman that if it was a real fist fight, Robin wouldn't have stood a fucking chance. And I think the audience at home knew it as well. But oh my god, I don't think there is footage out there of this happening, but oh god, I hope that it's just in an archive somewhere, and one day it gets released and we just have footage of Bruce Lee chasing down Robin as Batman just watches on screen like that. And it's the idea of just Robin just running away in fear from just the guy who's dressed like a fucking chauffeur. It's great. Do you know what makes this entire thing especially hilarious to me? That Burt Ward was friends with Bruce Lee because they lived in the same apartment block. So he knew Bruce personally, and he must have known that Bruce Lee was a huge troll. He loved doing shit like this, but obviously I'm guessing the fear of getting his head punched off must have overridden that. Have you ever heard some of the stories about the things Bruce Lee used to do to mess with people?
No, I haven't.
Well, in his house, he had his own training room, and he had a heavy bag. It's a standard piece of training equipment for martial artists, but Bruce Lee's heavy bag was unique, and do you know why?
Why?
Because instead of beads or stuff like that, it had metal shavings in it. Ooh. And it weighed about 500 pounds and was rock fucking solid. And do you know why that is? Because regular heavy bags, Bruce Lee could kick them hard enough where they'd swing up and hit the ceiling. And then he didn't want to damage his house because his wife got annoyed when he did that. So he had a special one made that weighed 500 pounds and was basically like punching a brick wall. And what he'd do is he'd go up to it and punch it a few times with people around and go, why don't you try punching the heavy bag? I'd love to see your technique, I'll give you some pointers. And who's going to turn down pointers on their punching technique from Bruce fucking Lee? And obviously they've seen him punch it, and they go up to it and they punch it as hard as they could, basically nearly break their fucking knuckles, and Bruce Lee go, ha 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 ha.
See, I've been thinking, like, why would Burt Ward be so scared? Like, obviously, Bruce Lee's terrifying, but
Yes.
if they were friends...
And they lived in the same
Yeah,
building.
so I'm thinking now, like, what if Bruce Lee was putting, like, notes under his door? Or leaving, like, threatening messages?
He took it like to the next level, and what we don't know is that behind the scenes, like Bruce in his apartment block, like when they went to get the mail or something like that, Burt Ward opened up his mailbox and he just opens it up and says, I'm going to get you, Burt. And he looks over and just Bruce is there behind a corner.
Burt comes home one day and he finds that metal shavings bag you were talking about in pieces in the foyer.
And just a picture of his face. He's stuck on it, just destroyed. It's like, oh my God, no, he's coming for me. And he looks outside his window at night and just sees Bruce Lee just doing like punch training. And he's just like punching fucking bricks in half or something.
I imagine like a horror movie though. It looks out his window and Bruce Lee stood there watching him, and then a bus comes past and he's not there because Bruce has just jumped on the side of the bus.
No, or when he's driving to work, he looks in the mirror and he sees Bruce jogging behind him casually at 100 miles
The T-1000.
Just casually sprinting, he goes past his car like that. And just like, you've always, that's the thing, that's like the idea of Bruce is going, just straight on Burt Ward.
Imagine Burt Ward eating food, watching TV, and there's like the news is on, but every now and then there's like a flicker.
No, he changes the
the
channel. It's one of Bruce Lee's movies. Oh man, I love this one. And Bruce turns to the camera. I'm going to get you, Burt. You can't stop me.
He went back to the location and reshot a scene from the movie.
And then like you just see him, he starts crawling through the through the TV like Samara out of the ring.
I mean, you would be scared then, wouldn't you?
Just like he just punches his way through. It's like, oh my God, it's fucking brilliant. Things like the 1-inch punch he had as well, into like he's just knocking on Bert's door. It's like, oh, I got some of your mail. Door falls over. Oh, sorry, I guess I didn't know how hard I can punch. Just the idea of just Bruce Lee just like stalking fucking Robin. And he's got to be doing it as well. He's in full KO uniform the entire time.